Welcome back. It's Yeah. I wanted to connect. It's, Saturday, 11/2/2019. That's November the 2nd, 2019. We're headed into the holidays, right? And I'm sitting here and I'm engaging because it's really important to me that everybody gets the fact that we're all in the same place at the same time. And the time really is the now. Right now, we're here looking at this video, but it's a different now for you because it's video, it's recorded. So the now that you are in is the same now as it was when I recorded this video. It's just the now that you're in. Same space. Didn't change. No past, no future, no present. Well, maybe some present, but I am, as you know, on a journey discovering myself. My birth name is Dennis William Murphy. And in this journey, I took a trek through my life, number one, and a book that I'm still reading, still in chapter 6, called Untethered Soul by Michael Singer. In the book, it discusses how we're somebody before we know who we are, before they stick the sticker on you, you're somebody. And it's true when you think about it. It's not denying it. The situation is that in order to get to where we need to be as a society, we need to tap in to the fact that we were somebody before we knew our actual names. And for some people, it's like way over their head. It's something they can't, or don't want to. It's like, leave me alone. And that's okay, But for the rest of us who are desiring to really channel reality, channel what this space should look like in reality, in the now, it's important to us to figure out who we were before we knew our name. And my name is right? That's who I was. That's who I am. That's my name. My name is Yeah. And so you're anybody that you believe to be, right? A lot of people, they get born into a male structure and they say, whoa, wait a minute, wrong compartment. I'm a female, right? I don't know. What do I know? I mean, what happens in an existence where we're not in the body that we're in now, as you know, I believe that we're consciousness, not human, not male, not Whitey Mac, right? Consciousness. I just happen to be in a structure, much like the vehicle that I'm in. The vehicle that I am in is gray, and it's a Nissan. And I'm in a Nissan gray car. Am I a Nissan? No. Am I a gray car? No. Am I a white dude? Mm-mm. Am I a male? I am in this structure. The structure's male, right? And so it's a machine. We're wired up with synapses in our brain, and those synapses are collecting data. Our consciousness is the driver of this data. We're the Lord, if you will, over the data. Maybe not the Lord sometimes too. And so the reality is, in order to engage with the truth, engage with who you really are, what this is really all about, you need to discover who you were before you knew your name. Take as much time as you need. There's no prerequisite. You're already there, right? How did it all happen? Who was I before I knew my name was Billy, Bobby, Joe, Susan, Sandy, Louise, Mary, Alfred, whatever, right? And so discover that space for you. Buy the book. It's a great book. $9.99 on Kindle. I'm not getting anything for it. Go download it. Amazon.com. My desire is that you see the world for what it really is. As you know, I was a Christian for 55 years. I'm not a Christian anymore. In my world, Christianity is a religion that was based upon a guy who was homeless. Many of us will not follow homeless people. I'm just saying. Many of us will not follow homeless people. However, there were 12 dudes that hung around Yeshua, right? Who we call Jesus. Why we call him Jesus? I don't know. I just don't know. My guess would be because there was a god named Diana in the Greek society, and they had a whole, commerce based upon this god, and they were tripping. They were just tripping. And so they swapped out his name, right? Because everybody can say Yeshua, right? You can say Yeshua, do it. Yeah. Yeshua, right? That was his name. So why did we change the name? He said, when two or more are gathered together, I will be there also. Supposedly. If two or more are gathered together in the name of Jesus, which was not his name, whose name is that? I don't know. It's a foreign name to me now. And my belief system would just say no. Not playing the game. Not playing the game. And you're saying, well, wait a minute. The blind saw, the lame walked. Yeah, I get it, right? Collective consciousness. It's a space where your consciousness, who you are before you knew your name, that is the thing that comes together with somebody else who they were before they knew their name. You guys don't know what it is. You're calling it Christianity, but you can call it Americanism, right? America is a conscious behavior, right? A consciousness. Our consciousness is engaged in this thing called freedom. And we're able to do, incredible things to try to strive for the space of just being free, right? We'll go to war. We'll, internally, we'll go to war, right? And externally, we'll go to war against those that are infringing upon what we perceive our perception of freedom. And so, as you know, last two videos, I talked about George Washington not being the first president of the United States of America. I want you to get it in your brain. I want you to get it. There is no walls. There's no walls. There's no walls. That guy's racing somewhere. Something's going on, and somebody's perhaps maybe got some jacked up programming, right? It's just jacked up. You got layers. It's a stack, many years in the brain, right? 200 million synapses that connect left and right brain, right? And so, there's a lot of programming in there. You've got the conscious, the subconscious, and then the dark conscious, right? And so in that place of the dark conscious, we can't see. The unconscious mind, the unconscious behavior is stuff that we do reactionary. And at times we end up putting our foot in our mouth when we have our mouth open. Lots of times we know people that are doing that, so it is what it is. What happens is we have behaviors based upon the dark conscious, the unconscious, the subconscious, and our conscious mind. When we fine-tune these events, right, in our consciousness, if we let our consciousness, who we are before we knew our name, right, lead our structure, our machine, if we allow that to happen, and we go through the steps it takes to practice, because it's like a golf swing. It's like hitting a baseball. It's like, sewing. It's like anything else that takes practice, playing an instrument, right? Learning a new language, you have to practice the language. This is a language of who you are before you knew your name. It's how this all began, right? They believe that there's this monkey called Pan, and that we branched off from Pan. They have scientific proof that was what happened, right? And there are all these subsets of theories. There's quantum mechanics, right? There is quantum string theory. And we're now just seeing through the DNA, which we've been able to, map that the genetic structure, that we can actually heal people through better genetics, right? So you're in a machine. The machine is a human body, and you got into your machine somehow. Somehow your consciousness got in there. I don't know how it happened. I'm not the Almighty. I'm not the person, I'm not the guy on the hill. But I do know that I'm in my structure. My structure is Whitey Mac, right? Male, white, right? And for whatever reason, that's where I'm at. My atoms, I believe, are vibrating just like your atoms are vibrating, just like the rest of the world is vibrating, right? Music is a vibration, right? Right? The world is vibrating. The universe is vibrating. We're all vibrating together. I believe that certain races vibrate at the same level. That's my personal belief. And that's why you see a lot of Asian cultures at schools sticking together, because they're vibing with their peeps, right? People hang with like-minded people, right? You're vibing, you're vibrating at the same level. And there's a lot of, things out there. People are trying to manipulate this a little bit to vibrate at a higher level. The way to do that, in my mind, is to find out who you are before you know your name. How do you do that? Just go inward, man. Go inward. Seek the things that are beyond this realm, right? Seek the Creator. Seek, if you want to call it God, call it God. For me, I just sought inside myself, and I found the answer. I'm YEH. That's who I am. And so in becoming that, it's a struggle trying to get this frame society, this framework, to buy into your desires to be who you are when you have one name. Because the system's not set up for one name. It's set up for two names, first and last name. We have all these security protocols that are built so that we have to put in a first name, have to put in a last name, got to do a birth date, got to do this, got to do that, right? It's even getting worse because of bad programming. You have people that are, stealing, right? Data, right? Hacking into people's data and then taking their cash, right? And so we have to do things differently. We just do. We have to vibrate accordingly, right? And so in order for us to evolve to where we really need to get to, we have to de-evolve. We have to go back. Yeah. Joshua said it. He said, you have to go back and to be reborn. That's what he was talking about. You have to be reborn. He said, don't get it confused. You have to be reborn. And I'm not talking about religion here. I'm not following Yeshua. I'm not. I'm following my consciousness. Because in my consciousness, I know that there is truth. There's truth to what I believe. I get it verified. There's witness to my truth for me. And so I unpack all this stuff. And for me, I sit back, like I said, in the crib of my consciousness. Inside of me is a crib. It's a space. That's just, it's a space of where you can go. And you just sit there and you'll know that you are now you. You'll feel, you get a sense of your essence. And then every other feeling, every other thought that comes through that parameter, that frame, that's your brain, right? Your brain is active, moving. That's why people say, hey, I can't meditate, so my brain is too active. Well, yeah, that's what your brain's for. It's being active, taking in data, managing data. Right now, I started this and I said, hey, I'm going to do this because this is just feels like what I'm supposed to do right now, right? So I did. I didn't feel like doing it before I pressed the go button, just so you know. But I did it anyway. So my point is, you were born divine. It's true. You were born divine. You don't need anything. You've always been divine. You've always been divine. You're divine right now. You're divine. And what separates you from being divine and not divine is your belief system and the fact that you were somebody before you knew your name. That's it. That's it. Because you were built. When we got into the structure, these structures are built with everything we need. The machine has everything we need to do what we're supposed to do in this frame, in the frame of the now. No past, no future. Remember? What time is it on the sun? That was the question. What time is it on the sun? What time is it on the sun? Daytime, yeah, I know. But really, what time is it on the sun? It is daytime all the time, yeah, right? So, there is no time on the sun. Yeah, no time on the sun. No time here. There's the non-shadow, which we're in right now, non-shadow. And then at night, the other half is the shadow. That's it. Non-shadow, shadow. We compartmentalize things and figure things out based upon a 24-hour clock that we invented. We invented the 24-hour clock based upon the mechanism, right, of the world spinning at 70,000 miles an hour around the sun. So the world's not spinning 70,000 miles. It's going around the sun 70,000 miles an hour in a galaxy that's 515,000 miles an hour moving, right? So everything's moving. Everything's vibrating. It's okay to vibrate. We're born divine. We're divine now. We've never not been divine. And you're saying, well, what about sin? I don't believe in sin. There's no such thing as sin. It doesn't exist. It doesn't exist. There's mistakes. I believe that we are here to make mistakes. We're great at it. We're absolutely phenomenal. I'm an expert at making mistakes. And so are you. But that's what we do, right? We make mistakes, all of us. Irrespective of who, where, what, and why, we're still making mistakes. We could have the perfect life, the perfect upbringing, the perfect family, the perfect the this, the that, the whatever. We're still going to make mistakes. How come? That's what we're here for, to make mistakes. It just is what it is. It's the truth. And if you want the truth, keep listening. If you don't, just swipe. Wipe. Right? But the truth is, we're divine when we're born. We're divine now. We've never not been divine. Ever. Never. Not once. Ever. We're here to make mistakes. That's our job. That's the best thing I can figure out, because we're all doing it. We're all doing it. We're all making mistakes. This machine is built a certain way. It's built to do things like drink water. Our body's mostly water, so we got to drink a lot of it, right? It's built to consume calories because our body feeds off calories. Our brains work on calories, and starches and salt and all this other stuff, right? That's what's happening. All of our bodies are the same, right? Respective to needing to drink water and to eat. You'll agree with that. Perhaps. Well, if you don't, then don't eat. And I'll see you. We're built for relations. We're built to inhabit, sexual desires, right? And so those are built for, our mates. They're built for other species of the opposite sex, right? And I can't factor why there's a same-sex thing, I know it's somewhere in the programming. I'm not saying it's wrong. I'm not saying it's right. I'm just saying that as a species, as a machine, is it reality? Or is it something that we've just interjected because of some programming within our neocortex, our brain? I don't know. I'm exploring this stuff. Give me a break. We're all here together trying to learn about each other, try to learn about this whole thing. My personal belief is that we're all divine, right? Mistake makers. That's what we do. That's what we are. I also believe that our structures are the way they are because of, at some point pigmentation, but I don't know. I mean, it's just the way our structures are, Asian people are built a different way. African American people are built a different way. Latino, Hispanic, Spanish people are built a different way from their structures and the way their structures are, the way the skin color is. It's not that important. It really is not that important. And so what happens is you need to understand that there is a system that uses media to program your feelings, wants, desires, because it speaks to a lust for, the finer things in life, or it speaks to the lust of, using chemicals to avoid certain thoughts, like, hey, let's go out and party, I'm trying to think of a Chevys commercial, I can't, or a Dos Equis commercial, I can't. But it's that type of media, that type of programming that is controlling you. Yeah, you're being controlled by the media, by the programming, by the advertising. Yeah. How do you get out of it? My only thought process is that you sit back in the crib of your consciousness and plug and play your feelings and emotion. It takes practice. It's like a golf swing. It's like playing an instrument, right? And so it's one moment at a time, right? And I say moment at a time, and I'm using those phrases, but there is no time. There's only the now. And so an interesting thing, too, is that if you can think of a song, and I'll mention a song, like a Rolling Stone by Bob Dylan. And, if you hear that song, there's a memory in your brain associated with that song. What you think of? Or how about Drake? It's a God thing, When you hear that song, those songs, what's your instant feeling? Macarena. Hey, Macarena. Right? Mambo number 5. With a girl in the car the other day. I was explaining to her that she was somebody before she knew her name. She's like, oh, dang, right. Yeah? I know I'm right. But we had Mambo number 5 on. She was getting jiggy with it. And she explained to me that, it was one of her favorite songs in high school. So when Mambo number 5 came out, it was 1997. Mambo number 5. When that song came out, it locked away that time for her. And all the memories came up when she played that song. And so when you play certain songs for me, a lot of memories come up for those songs, right? What happens is when they're keeping time in the songs, they're keeping time with your memories. And that's what the beats are about. It's a mathematical equation. That's all it is. It's math. Because this whole thing is built on a math program, right? A math equation. Quantum mechanics or quantum physics, they think. And so that's a whole other subject, and I'm kind of not prepared to talk about quantum stuff right now, but I want you to investigate. And so there's beats per minute, right, of a song. If a song is 89 beats per minute, you're going down the road at 40 miles an hour. You're traveling, listening to something that's got speed. On a planet that's traveling 70,000 miles an hour around a sun, right, that has no time. No time in the sun. In a galaxy that's traveling 515,000 miles an hour. It's a lot of movement, right? To not take notice. So you gotta, if you care about it, you may not care about it. You may, oh, the heck with it. Give me my cigar, give me my, bourbon, give me my whatever. I don't want to think about it. Don't think about it. My belief is that yeah is not human. Yeah is yeah. That's who I am. My consciousness will live forever. I believe that your consciousness is going to live forever. We never die. It's a great thing. Prepare for eternity, right? Because you're going to be doing this forever. My belief system that we're going to be here forever inside a body. That's my belief. Inside a body. I'm going to have a new body and a new name. And I'm hoping that in the future, which is not really the future, it's the now. In the now, then things will be a lot different. And they won't be so jacked up because we screwed this spot up, right? Everybody knows what I'm talking about. November the 2nd, 2019. This is Yeah. Find yourself. Thanks for listening. Bye.